In today's video, I'm going to show you how to properly test and debug your automation workflows in Make, the powerful no-code automation platform, so you can catch errors before they affect real data and ship your scenarios with genuine confidence. Make is one of the most visual and capable automation tools available, and its built-in testing features are genuinely excellent. But a lot of people skip them, run their scenarios live, and then spend hours untangling what went wrong. If you find this helpful, please hit like and subscribe, and let's get started. The very first thing we're going to tackle is preparing your test data, and this step matters more than most people realize. Open your workflow builder and locate your trigger module. That's the very first block in your scenario, sitting at the far left of the canvas. This is the entry point where all your data originates, whether it's a new spreadsheet row, an incoming webhook, or a form submission. Right-click directly on that trigger module, and from the context menu that appears, select Choose Where to Start. This option tells Make that instead of waiting for a real event to fire, you want to inject a specific data bundle yourself. From the submenu, choose to pick specific data manually, and then select a bundle that matches your root conditions. That second part is important. You want your test data to contain values that actually satisfy the filters you've set up downstream, so the data travels the path you intend to validate. Taking this extra step prevents the frustrating situation where a test runs without errors simply because the data slipped down a fallback path, rather than the primary route you were trying to examine. With your test data selected, it's time to execute a single run. Look at the bottom toolbar of the Make editor and you'll find the Run Once button. It's separate from the main toggle that enables your scenario to run on a live schedule. Clicking Run Once tells Make to process exactly one bundle through your scenario, module by module, without activating the scheduler. This distinction is critical for safe development. Triggering the full scheduler during testing risks firing real API calls, sending real emails, creating real records, or invoking real webhooks before your logic has been confirmed. Click the button and then simply wait for the execution to complete fully. As it runs, you'll see the data path illuminate visually. Each module flashes as it processes the bundle, and that animated flow gives you an immediate intuitive read on whether the scenario is behaving as designed. If the animation stops partway through or skips a branch you expected data to enter, you already have your first meaningful clue about where the problem lives. Once the run finishes, take a moment to inspect the visual routing carefully, and this is where Make genuinely outshines most other automation platforms. Look at the connection lines running between your modules. Any path that successfully carried data will display a small green check mark, confirming that the bundle moved through there. Any path that was blocked, usually by a router condition or filter that was not satisfied, will show a stop icon instead, making it immediately obvious that data was halted at that point, whether intentionally or not. To go even deeper, click the bubble icon that appears above each module or link after a run. This opens the Payload Inspector, a panel showing you both the input data that arrived at a module and the output it produced after processing. Comparing those two payloads side by side is the single fastest way to understand what any module is actually doing to your data. If a field is missing, renamed, or transformed in an unexpected way, it will be right there in front of you. Make this a reflex. Checking the bubbles on every single test run will compress what might be hours of debugging down to a matter of minutes. The final step, and the one that separates disciplined workflow builders from people who simply cross their fingers, is validating your filters and fallback routes. Click the wrench icon on any filter link or router path you want to examine. Make will reveal the exact condition that was evaluated and show you precisely why a filter passed or failed against your test data. This is where data type mismatches like to hide. A number stored as a string, the value 42 wrapped in quotation marks instead of treated as a bare integer, will silently fail a numerical comparison, even though it looks perfectly correct on screen. Text comparisons can break the same way due to trailing spaces, inconsistent capitalization, or locale differences in how dates are formatted. Review these carefully. Then, once you're satisfied that your primary routes are working, deliberately test the unmatched or fallback route by selecting test data you know should not satisfy your main conditions. Run the scenario again and confirm that the fallback path fires correctly and handles that edge case data gracefully. An untested fallback is a hidden failure waiting to surface in production at exactly the wrong moment. And with that, you've completed the full testing and debugging process in Make. You now know how to seed your scenario with the right test data, execute a controlled single run, read the visual routing to see exactly where data flows and where it stops, and dig into filter logic to catch the subtle formatting errors that cause so many mysterious failures. This entire process takes only a few minutes once it becomes habit, and it will save you hours of head scratching down the line. If you found any value in today's video, hitting that like button is a small gesture that makes a huge difference in helping others find this content. Drop a note in the comments too, whether it's a specific part you enjoyed or a suggestion for how we can level up. We read every single one, and your feedback directly shapes what we build next. Save this video and come back to it whenever you're building something complex. Good luck and happy automating.